Hi students, today we are going through one of the past papers. This is the 2014 DSE English Language Paper 4 6.1. Okay, now the topic here is about team sports. Okay, team sports. And we're going to go directly to the part B, which is the individual response. Okay, here are 8 questions and I am going to give you some model answers and I'm going to read it out to you with intonation and as much energy as possible. Okay, so here are the suggested answers. Once again, they're taking right from here, 1 to 8. Question 1, okay. Do you play team sports? Now remember, when you give your individual response, this is a chance for you to show how good you are at speaking. That means you need lots of energy, lots of facial expressions, really show that when you answer something, you answer with enthusiasm. Okay, so be positive. Remember, the speaking is like a drama, so you need to act up as a good speaker. Okay, question number 1. Do you play team sports? Yes, I absolutely love team sports, so I try to play as much as possible. My favorite is basketball, and I try to play at a basketball court near my home in Tiwanshan. But it gets quite busy at weekends, as there are so many other people playing at the same time. I usually play with friends from school or my cousin, as he likes basketball too. I used to play football when I was younger, however, it's harder to play than basketball as you have to book a football pitch, so it's much more expensive. Now here, you want to punch these words like I absolutely, okay, to show your energy. So I try to play as much as possible. And then you want to give information, for example, yeah, you like basketball, so give information like, where do you play? I play near my home. Okay. When do you play? It gets quite busy at weekends. Who do you play with? I usually play with friends. So these are the things you want to talk about. Where? Chimonsan, near my home. When? A weekend. And who do you play with? You want to give as much information as possible. For example, here, my cousin. And then again, you can talk about different things. You can talk about basketball, or you can talk about football, and compare the difference. Football, you need a bigger place, right? It's more expensive. Give information in your 1-minute response. Okay, the more detail you have, the better your score will be. Question number 2. Would you prefer to play in team sports or individual sports? For me, I prefer team sports. Here, you're talking from your heart, so you want to give examples. Okay, for me, I prefer team sports as it's important to work together to win together. Again, intonation. To work together to win together. There's a phrase, teamwork makes the dream work. And again, I think that's good for you guys to remember. Teamwork makes the dream work. So, intonation, so I think we should communicate with others and be a good team player, which I think helps us to be more successful in life outside of sports, such as school projects and group work. So here what you're doing is you're giving information about why team sports is useful, because it helps us with school projects and group work. Give examples, okay? However, so now we're giving the other side of the argument. However, I also see the benefits of individual sports, as I can pick up a ball and practice by myself when I'm bored. So, intonation, so I don't need to call around to get a team together. Sometimes I want to blow off some steam. So here, this phrase means to release your stress, but instead of just saying release your stress, I want to blow off some steam and do some exercise after studying. Okay, so yeah, I know you guys always talk about release your stress. Another way is to blow off some steam, all right, and do some exercise after studying. Question number 3. Do you prefer watching team sports or individual sports? I prefer watching team sports, as they're different players I really admire. Okay, this is a word that you want to emphasize. I really admire. For example, give examples. Kobe Bryant played basketball for LA Lakers. Here, you're giving information. Most people know who's Kobe Bryant, but just in case you don't know, give information. For example, Kobe Bryant played basketball for LA Lakers and was amazing to watch and a real inspiration. This word is inspiration to others. I was really upset when he died recently. I like Cristiano. Oh, this is a hard one to say. If you say Cristiano Ronaldo or just say Ronaldo is okay. You can delete that part. The main thing is Ronaldo. I like Cristiano Ronaldo also. He plays football for Real Madrid. Okay. Even if you just say he plays football is okay, but give more information. He plays football for Real Madrid. And he's also an inspiration to others. Many of my school friends think he's a hero, and his skills are amazing to watch. Intonation, amazing to watch. However, intonation, however, I also like Lewis Hamilton. So this word here, also. However, I also like Lewis Hamilton. But, so there's 3 words where you can have intonation. However, also, but, however, I also like Lewis Hamilton, but he's not really a team player. He drives for Mercedes in Formula One racing. So again, this part here, you don't need to say that, but it gives information if people don't know who's Lewis Hamilton. More detail. He drives for Mercedes in Formula One racing. Mercedes, that's the word there. Question 4. Would your parents allow you to become a professional sports person? Your answer, again with intonation and enthusiasm. My parents are very supportive of me, of everything I do. So I think they'd be... Sorry, excuse me. Let's start again. My parents are very supportive of everything I do. So, intonation, so I think they'd be very happy for me to be a sports person when I'm older. However, okay, intonation and opposite answer. However, I'm sure they'd want me to be successful in traditional ways, such as being a doctor or a lawyer, as that's very common in Hong Kong. So again, the word very is intonation. It's very common in Hong Kong. I don't think it's a good time to be a doctor in Hong Kong during the coronavirus. So, intonation, so I prefer to be a successful sports person, such as Kobe Bryant, and inspire others to play better sports. Okay, and there. These are words where you can intonate your voice and make it sound better. And inspire others to play better sports. Question 5. Why is it sometimes difficult to encourage people to play sports? I think the problem in Hong Kong is that everyone is just too busy. Okay, here, just too busy. Either busy with studying or busy with their job at work. And Hong Kong is so competitive that it's not easy to take time off to play sports. I think also, again this word here, also, I think also people can be quite lazy or tired. So people prefer sleeping instead of playing sports. Social media and YouTube can be a much easier option than putting on sports clothes and doing exercise. So again here, you're giving 2 answers. People are too busy and people are kind of too lazy. And you can talk about social media and YouTube, all right? Give information, give details. Question 6. Should more money be invested in developing facilities for team sports in Hong Kong? This word facilities means, for example, sports grounds, where you play, and the equipment, okay? Because sports need equipment. So if you want to go running, you need a sports track, right? Should more money be invested in developing facilities for team sports in Hong Kong? Answer. I think if the government has more money, we can use the money better, such as better hospitals, more schools, better housing, okay? So these are the give information. I don't really think team sports is really a great investment, especially as Hong Kong is such a small city. So again, make it personal to you. Talk about Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a small city. So there isn't much room for big sports centres or stadiums. This word stadium, like in Happy Valley, there is a sports stadium. And I think they're building a sports stadium in Kai Tak as well. So these are the big sports grounds, but they use up a lot of space. In England, there are many sports stadiums, but in Hong Kong, not many, right? USA and China are more famous for sports as they have more open space, whereas in Hong Kong, we usually play table tennis or badminton as they can be played in smaller areas. So again, give information, give detail. This answer is obviously no, I don't think money should be invested, but you can also say yes, why you think it is important. For me, I think no. Number 7, do you agree playing team sports reduces violence? I think it depends on which sports, to be honest. Okay, so that's a good phrase to use, to be honest. Okay, I think it depends on which sports, to be honest. For example, always give examples, yes? Ice hockey is very popular in Canada, but it's also a very rough, violent, and aggressive game. You often see people fighting on the ice. I think basketball or football are a good way for us to release our stress. Again, remember, blow off steam, right? Blow off steam, release our stress from our daily life, and it's a good feeling when we win. I think if team games help us support each other, that has to be a positive thing. So try to make your answers as positive as you can, okay? Try not to be too negative in your response. Yeah, so here, give two examples. One example is ice hockey, and you talk about basketball or football, all right? Remember to always give more detail, more information. Number 8, is it more difficult to handle failure? Okay, here's word failure. Is it more difficult to handle failure in individual or team sports? I think it's easier and better to handle failure when you have emotional support from others, such as our teammates.